During college, I was a biology and a chemistry major. I was also a Christian. And as I studied at a state university, there were a lot of things that my professors would tell me that would argue against the existence of God. It's a very common argument. I've often found that people that are evolutionists have kind of turned it into a religion. They get very upset if you try to argue against evolution. I found that a very strange concept which goes against the rules of science. Science, you're not really supposed to get emotional about anything. You're supposed to, it's either, you just look at the data. What does the data say? And this was a big struggle that I had as a young man and a Christian because a lot of what they said made sense. And through all of that, it was as a scientist that I found the proof of God. Now, one of the things that that evolutionists would often argue is the existence of the universe, the age of the universe, because you could look at the center of the universe and see how fast the universe is expanding, and then just, do the math backwards, and it'll tell you that it took it this long to get from there to there. And most estimates are going to tell you something like 320 billion years ago. Now, I want to start off by saying, if you watch the first episode, we purposefully made the first episode to focus on what it is we know. And as we've seen, and as you know, if you look at history, we don't really know anything beyond 4,000 years ago. It was the Egyptians that have some of the oldest structures on the planet, and that's about 4,000 to 4,500 years ago. Beyond that, we don't have anything. Everything is an assumption. So truly, we don't know much of anything beyond 4,000 years ago. So when people start saying 200 million years ago it was like this, or 300 billion years ago it was like that, those numbers just simply don't add up. And the reason they throw those numbers out is because of the expanse of the universe. The center's here, the Big Bang happened, and it took that long to get to the edge of the universe. So something that they did not take into consideration was dark matter. Dark matter is a new discovery, or a fairly recent discovery, just in the last couple decades. Now, space has always been believed to be this dark, empty void, but that's far from true. Space is filled with matter referred to as dark matter. As you know, galaxies, as well as almost everything in the universe, rotates, it spins. And if you look at the spin of billions of stars in a single galaxy, physics will tell you that one of two things will take place. Either it'll spin, launching everything outward, which is what most physics models will show you will happen, or it'll just suck in on itself. But it does not. Why not? Dark matter. Dark matter is the matter that binds it all together. It's almost like a very void version of water. And just like any matter, movement hitting matter causes friction, and it causes things to slow down. Let me give you an example. If I shot a bullet underwater and that bullet left the barrel going 3,000 feet per second, within a few yards, it is slowed down to somewhere between 1/10 of an inch per second. So you went from 3,000 feet per second to 1/10 of an inch per second. Now, if I then measured the last inch or two, which is what we measure now with the expanse of the universe, if I measured the last inch or two, and I determined it's moving at 1/10 of an inch per second, and then I did the math backwards, my math would show that it left the barrel of that gun many years ago, when in reality it just left the barrel of the gun a few seconds ago, because they're basing it off of the speed of the universe today. Work backwards, that's how old they determine the universe is, but they're not accounting for the friction that dark matter causes. Anytime anything is moving and it strikes or rubs up against matter, it causes friction, which causes it to slow down. Just like the bullet of a gun will slow down underwater, galaxies will slow down as they pass through dark matter. It's just, and nobody's been willing to do the math. No physicist, no astrophysicist has gone and redone the math to say, well, actually, the universe is probably about 6,000 years old. But nobody's been willing to do that math yet, nor has anybody even attempted to do the math, but they keep going off of the original math that excluded dark matter, which again is matter. Matter causes friction. Matter causes things to slow down. It's the laws of physics. So they're taking the laws of physics and contradicting them to buy into a hypothesis. So again, dark matter is the reason that the universe is not that old. It's physical laws and physical math that completely contradicts what the scientists, age of the universe, have said. So keep sticking with us with the proof of God. We're going to talk about dinosaurs next time. That's going to be fascinating. We'll spend a couple episodes on dinosaurs. So hope this is helping. You know, again, I'm not trying to necessarily say, well, take my word for it. I mean, just, you know, again, ask an astrophysicist. Has anybody redone the math now that they've discovered dark matter? No, they have not, because it would dramatically decrease the age of the universe. So much so that, like, again, when you measure the last inch of a bullet traveling 1/10 of an inch per second and say, well, it left the gun years ago, when in reality it just left it a few seconds ago. Love to hear your thoughts on this. Put it in the comments below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. If you feel called to support this channel through Patreon, that link is also below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests, so never hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.